nice for you to join me today. Now, I want to talk about a very heartbreaking encounter that I had with a lady whose daughter had passed away from cancer that year or the year before. It's a little 6-year-old girl. But anyway, let me first tell you what an empath is for those of you who do not know. But this experience is one I've never had. I've had very, very in-tuned experiences emotionally, but this one is on a whole different level. So let me just tell you what happened really quick. So in New York City, I'm a local artist. Well, I've been an artist since I was a baby, and I'm a fine arts major. So I was invited to a grand reopening of an art center where they teach classes in the community. I was invited there along with some other artists to do a whole collection where they can have an auction and raise money to buy supplies to accommodate the classes in that community. So on my way to this event, I wound up there about a half an hour early because the session of drawing and painting was only for 1 hour, and immediately after that was going to be the actual auction that evening. So we had 1 hour to actually put a piece together. So it was kind of random. I got the invitation a few days before. So it was pretty much all random. So on my way en route, I said, okay, what can I do that is a project for entire family, because this is a community and this art center has classes for adults and for children. So you have to make a piece that was family friendly. So I said, oh, let me do broken dolls. I've always loved dolls and I play with dolls, but I have also a fascination for broken doll pieces that I see around. I don't know, maybe it's the empath in me that connects to those pieces, those broken doll pieces, and I may see people in those broken pieces. So anyway, that was going to be my subject matter. That's all I had in my head. No colors, no anything. It was very random. So I get there, and the host escorts me to where I will be sitting, and she put me in front of a window facing outside the window. And then behind me was the center of the room, and there was a long table that could accommodate about 12 or 14 people. And then there were chairs and tables wrapped around the perimeter of the wall space. So she put me by the window facing outwards, overlooking the city. It was the second floor. And so now, half an hour later, the community citizens start filing in, and they're arranging them in different seats. So they put a lady directly behind me. She's about 40, 42 years old or something. I've never seen her in my life. Actually, I've never seen anyone there other than the few people, artists and the event holders that I knew personally from the art community. And so the lady and I are back to back, and they gave us this huge piece of canvas, maybe 18 by 24, probably even larger. It was a large piece of canvas. So I'm just randomly drawing the doll, just random, no set layout or anything. I'm just playing it by ear because I only had an hour. So I'm drawing the broken doll, and I put little band-aids on the doll, and the little hair. I did, you know how dolls, the hair falls out. So I gave her a little bit of, disheveled hair, and I put a little pink headband on the doll. And so I had a Band-Aid on the top of the hand and a Band-Aid on the arm and some little yellow background and some daisies and a bunch of little random stuff, totally random. So now the time progressed, the hour is over, and now the host invites everyone to get up, go around to each other's artwork, say hello, introduce yourself, and look at everyone's artwork before the auction begins. So the lady behind me, she decided, I guess, because we were so close to each other, that she would start at my table and introduce herself to me. So she turns around, she comes over to my table. We're all standing up now. Everybody's just enjoying the moment. And she turns around, she comes and she looks at my artwork. And she starts screaming, literally screaming. She puts her hands, she lets out this huge, big yell. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! I said, what's the matter? What's the matter? Are you okay? Are you okay? And she said, you drew my daughter. I said, your daughter? And I said, oh, how old's your daughter? Does she like dolls? She said, no, my baby, she died. She died from cancer. And I said, oh my God. I was so crushed. I could literally feel the lady. The grief was just so profound. And I'm looking at the picture like, oh my God, I never did that in my life. And that was, I've been in art shows where I've had reactions and emotions, and but I've never actually had that experience, I have to say. So she's crying, crying, and now all the crowd, all the people are coming over to my table and they're looking at the art piece. I'm trying to console her. I ask her, what is your daughter's name? Which I won't reveal. I asked her what's her daughter's name. And then I took her to the back, like where it was a little bit more private, kind of like where the shelves were stocked. And I was trying to console her. And she would not stop crying. She showed me a picture in her iPhone of her little daughter in the carriage and how she had stopped being as mobile from the chemo and all of those horrible things that they do to these poor babies and during their suffering. And she told me her daughter had this very, very anguish type of a pain. I think she had brain cancer, the little girl. And the mother was so distraught, so I'm consoling her. Some other people come back there to console her that actually knew her, and they were trying to console her. And finally, um, I got her some water. I got her to come back out, and then now the auction proceeds. And but she looks at the painting and she's like, my daughter had the PICC line for the chemo in her hand, and then she had something here. Her favorite color was pink. She loved the little daisies and flowers, and oh my God, that picture is, oh my God. I mean, it was really, really so heart-wrenching. It really was. So then she said, what am I gonna name the painting? And I said, well, why don't we make it in honor of your daughter, and you can actually have the painting. We don't even have to submit it to the gallery downstairs, because I can go home. I didn't live far from there. I could go home and, grab a couple more paintings and bring it to the auction. And she said, I could not take that home. It's been like a year or so, and I can't stop crying. And that, I said, well, I could see your reaction. So um, she was so distraught. So now we're at the gallery event. It's an hour later. We're at the gallery event, and everyone is coming over to see the drawing because she invited people, and they're coming over to see the painting, which I did not sell because I felt really, like, really heartbroken for the lady. So I just wanted to give her the painting. but she said she couldn't take it home. So I left it at the gallery for them to donate it or whatever. If it's sold, I don't even know. But it was such a traumatic moment that I couldn't really even keep the painting. So she disappeared off, and I see her crying in the corner. She wouldn't come next to me, but she was somewhere in the distance crying. And she eventually disappeared. I don't know if she left or whatever happened at the end of that night. But I stayed till the end. I did not see her anymore that night. And well, her painting was also very nice. She did like a community scene or something. It's very nice with her daughter in it. Very, very nice. It was a beautiful event, but if you're an empath, you have to learn how to be compassionate to the people, to folks. If you have a situation like that, you want to be compassionate. You don't want to be dismissive. You want to be inclusive. You want to embrace their story, because if God gives you a gift, you have to share it. And a part of sharing it is showing the love that God shows us. So you have to be compassionate with the person as they tell you their story. And some of them are very overwhelming, and you can walk in a room and you can feel like, whoosh, all sorts of energies, and then you have to walk out. But I didn't feel any vibes when she came in. I didn't feel anything. I was just into the drawing. But I do want to tell you, as an empath, you can get through it. You just have to wake up, give yourself time with God, say a mantra, a prayer, ask God to guide you through each episode that you feel and to give you the wisdom, because there are demons in the midst, and they do try to disrupt your peace. And so you can feel their energy too. And I'll tell you about when two demons I confronted face to face. And I knew who they were coming towards me. But that's a story for another video. But definitely try to be compassionate with as many people as possible. People need love. She obviously needed someone there to embrace her. And luckily, I, tried to console her, and then some friends came along that she knew that kind of picked up where I left off. So I wonder if I went there to be an artist, to be a minister, to console, or to help her through her grieving. All of those could be a mission that God sent me on. A mission does not have to be overseas. It can be right there in your community. You don't even know it until you're in the midst of it. But I just want to share that story with you, and I'm here. I see you. I see your feelings. I feel your feelings. And I do have compassion for people. And it's a little overwhelming, but it's definitely something God gives you to do, and He wouldn't give us too much that we can't bear. But have a blessed day, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.